This time, do you know, was the first one we did, and you asked me what I was doing gig-wise, and I had nothing. I had nothing. And I felt so gutted that I couldn't reply more positively. But at that point, I just didn't. I hadn't been...
So
Last year, and then last year was bonkers. And this year, I am working on my gig list already. So there you go. There you go.
Well, we are live, so chat knows you're working on your gig list.
Hello, peeps. How are we doing? All right.
What have you got lined up then?
Well, so I'm doing some steampunk stuff for a little bit of kind of a new sideways thing. It's lovely because steampunks take history, stir it with a stick, and then laugh at the things that need to be laughed at.
Yes.
And I love it. That suits my music so well. There's also very much a kind of a Radio 4 humour, wordy, interested in everything kind of a vibe.
Yes.
And that suits my music very well too. So I'm doing a couple of steampunk things: Cobbles and Cogs in Basingstoke at the beginning of March, and then the Goblin Masquerade in Aberystwyth, or more properly Borth, straight after. Then I've got another steampunk event up in Gloucester at St Mary de Crypt, which is an amazing church building where the community there also run the building as a kind of a community centre. And they have steampunks in, and they have music, and they have exhibitions and workshops and really weird and wonderful stuff, you know? Not your kind of nicey stuff that you might think happens in a church, but absolutely wild and woolly. As some of them do. So that's good. Folk in the Orchard. I've just agreed a date with the Tuppenny at Old Town in Swindon, which will probably be my only pub gig this year. But I played the Tuppenny a year or so ago, and I don't really generally do pub gigs, but my goodness, it was amazing. Swindon turned out for me.
Oh, fantastic.
I had Lily's community choir along. They flash mobbed me with a song. It was just, lots of things, lots of new songs. Lots of new adventures to have with them.
Fantastic.
So thank you for having me on here to kind of kick things off, really.
It's always a pleasure, Talis. Always a pleasure. Well, how long? When did we last have you on? Was it
probably about a year ago, 8 to 10 months ago? A while. It was a while. It was a while.
A while back.
And then I think might have been early last year. And then last year was bonkers. I did so many festivals and things. I didn't know what to do with myself by the end. But it was good fun. I got to do some things that I've always wanted to do with my songs. I got to do a song cycle where I wind together songs and stories, little bits of spoken word. Yeah. And I presented that in 2 different versions at a few things. Then I got to do a themed set up at the Folk of Gloucester on my history songs, which I loved putting together. And then at Festival of the Edge, I had they gave me an hour and a half to have a knitting circle and yarn and crafty songs. Oh my word, it was the best fun.
Oh, what a terrible thing.
That was just joyful. So that was just joyful. So I've really been able to lean into kind of themed things, because as a prolific writer, if I do a gig to, say, a wonderful audience in a folk club, there's going to be things that I know they'll enjoy, and there's going to be things that are going to be a little bit off the wall for them. So I need different audiences so I can so that I don't have little orphan songs going, I'm a really funny song.
I don't know where I fit.
Yeah, where will I fit? Who are my people? So
I remember when we had Thomas Benjamin Wilde on, he said he has a slightly different problem, that he doesn't know what genre he is. He's just funny songs. And, in funny songs while being dapper. So that gets him quite a way. He never quite knows who's going to book him next, because it is just, Well,
that's it. Then you get folk, you get steampunk, you get heritage. I'm looking at things for also the fairy community, the pirate community, the goth community, all of that. And it's
the fairy mob.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Do you know, I kind of get it so much more than I did, because honestly, how we are now, how the world is, isn't it just so much needed to be able to dress up, be silly, pretend, play, put a bit of magic into things and have fun. And that's what a lot of these,
But it's that escape to thing, isn't it?
Yeah,
Rather
nobody's
than
being
escape
hurt.
from.
People are having fun. It gives people a bit of, some solace. It gives people somewhere for off the wall creativity, and it's a community. So yeah, steampunk, fairy, pirate, goth.
Marion has just asked, do you ever get fairy, furry, pirate, goth song gigs?
Possibly.
Fairy, furry, pirate, goth song. And Edwin's in chat. Justice is in chat. You've just described the BDSM community.
Yeah, I probably fit as well. Why not? Why not?
Edwin is in chat. Edwin will be my guest in a fortnight's time, by the way.
Hey,
JT
fantastic.
Steam in chat.
Fantastic.
Marion is here. Tom Brown is here.
Lovely.
Who else? Simon Fairborn's here. I don't know if you know him.
Across the kitchen table.
Zap Esler and Rafe Culpin. So
lovely.
far,
Hi, folks. Lovely.
chatted up and said things in chat. I'm going to sing the usual song I start with.
Yep.
And then you're going to sing something.
All right, then.
And then we'll talk some shite.
Yes.
And then I'll sing something. And then you'll sing something. And shite will probably be talked. And yeah, I think that... Oh, Daniel Kelly's here.
Hear it.
From Straya. Two Strayans.
Fantastic.
And so I will press this button. Ha-ha. Come one and all, let us be jolly, drive away all melancholy, for to grieve it is a folly. When we're met together, let union be in all our hearts. Let all our hearts be joined as one. We'll end the day as we begun, we'll end it all in pleasure. Rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roller to relido, rack, follow, roller, roller to relido. Oh, when we're met together, King Solomon in all his glory tells each wife a different story. In our cups we'll disapprove of that. Oh, when we're met together, let union be in all our hearts. Let all our hearts be joined as one. We'll end the day as we begun, we'll end it all in pleasure. Rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roller to relido, rack, follow, roller, roller to relido. Oh, when we're met together, eating and drinking, there's so charming, piping and smoking, there's no harm in all these things we'll take delight in. Oh, when we're met together, let union be in all our hearts. Let all our hearts be joined as one. We'll end the day as we begun, we'll end it all in pleasure. Rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roller to relido, rack, follow, roller, roller to relido. Oh, when we're met together, cease your quarrelling and fighting, evil speaking and backbiting, all these things take no delight in. Oh, when we're met together, let union be in all our hearts. Let all our hearts be joined as one. We'll end the day as we begun, we'll end it all in pleasure. Rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roll to relido. Oh, when we're met together, grab the bottle as it passes, do not fail to fill your glasses. Water drinkers are in the majority in this room. Oh, when we're met together, let union be in all our hearts. Let all our hearts be joined as one. We'll end the day as we begun, we'll end it all in pleasure. Rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roll to relido. Oh, when we're met together, let union be in all our hearts. Let all our hearts be joined as one. We'll end the day as we begun, we'll end it all in pleasure. Rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roll to relido, rack, follow, roller, roll to relido. Oh, when we're met together, when we're met together. We also are joined by Omega. Hi, Omega. Mr. Mashyman, and wife and child. I'm not sure what the sprog is. And Louisa and Emily here watching from deepest, darkest North Yorkshire.
Ooh.
And Rafe, but we knew about Rafe.
Fantastic. Fantastic. Well,
So what have you got for us?
I'm already going to change my mind on what I'm going to start with because that's how I roll. So I'm going to start with a song that took about 5 years, 4 or 5 years hunting down. One of those little stories that you read in the...
Remember to go into original sound, by the way.
Yeah. I'll do that now. Even though that will include me chatting, because inevitably I do. You know, people send you little links to little stories online and you read them and you go, oh, I want to write that into a song. This eluded me for about 4 or 5 years. I think I needed to be a fiddler for 4 and 5 years before I could really get this the shape I wanted it to. There's a museum in Cremona, Museum of the Violin, where a project was carried out to preserve the sounds of the Stradivarius violins so that every possible kind of nuanced note and sound that it could make would be digitally preserved so that in the future, music not yet written could be heard, played on a Stradivarius by ears not yet born. Okay? And in order to do this, they had people play constantly for weeks to get every nuance out of these aged instruments with this brittle aging wood. And the whole, well, half the city, it just quieted down. They just kept everything so silent because they wanted this project to be successful. Speak not too loud, nor shout, nor sing. Speak not too loud, nor shout, nor sing. Half Cremona holds its breath. Let no clocks chime, let no bells ring. Skilled hands are playing every note upon this aged violin, whose wood is not immortal. Oh, speak soft, nor shout, nor sing. They are capturing the voice of Stradivarius violin. Let everybody hush, you never heard a sound like this. How 400-year-old maple sings where string and horsehair kiss. Half Cremona holds its breath. Let no clocks chime, let no bells ring. Skilled hands are playing every note upon this aged violin. Each bow stroke, every nuance, for a month of precious days. Each shift of bow and neck, finger and bridge most reverently played, as a testament to genius, how the fragile wood vibrates. All is captured and recorded before now becomes too late. Speak not too loud, nor shout, nor sing. Speak not too loud. I hold it near my heart, this shallow box of wood and air, as if to do so were a sacrament I'd one last chance to share. One where day the wood will cease to sing, I know it to be so, nor am I less than mortal, nor was Antonio. Half Cremona holds its breath. Let no clocks chime, let no bells ring. Skilled hands are playing every note Thank you.
Whoa. I missed you. Didn't get in on Friday night.
What you missed was bonus Amy.
I know, yes. I didn't.
Amy McNally, fiddler from Wisconsin,
Yep.
dear friend. She'd never heard
Previous
the song
guest
before.
on here.
Yeah, yes. She had never heard the song before.
Wow.
She came on stage. We did a couple of songs together. She saw it on my set list because, of course, as one of my fiddle mentors, she'd heard about me writing it.
Yeah.
She said, "Are you going to do that one next?" I said, "Yeah, I am." And she plopped down, sitting cross-legged. It's like, no. halfway through, she stood quietly up beside me, and with just the gentlest entrance, she came in and joined me. Oh my goodness! It was a thing.
I was going to say it's one of those. You won the Sam for best at con, so clearly it was one of those magic moments. It's always a shame. It's always, and then you have the concert at the end where you try and replicate it. And it's like, it's never going to happen. It was fantastic, but I wish I'd been there on Friday. But
that's live music, isn't it? Because
you
you
yeah.
do a thing for the first time once.
Yeah.
And there are so many elements of it that remain organic, that remain shifting and changing. Little phrases and words that you get this way round or that way round, or your mouth does this bit of melody, or it stops at that note or something, and you just go with it, and that's that performance. They're not cookie cutters.
No. And the Act Con is it's the Sam's concert is great, but the Act Con thing is always the one where it's like, well, okay, we're going to try and put this lightning back in a bottle. It's not going to happen, but it's still great. I mean, it was a fantastic thing at the Sam, and Erming is just saying the duplicate Sam is in progress.
Yes.
Yay.
Yes. And I think what we'll do then is that Amy and I will swap so that one of us have either the Gomez or Morticia. One of us will have one that was the original. One of us will have the clone, if you like.
Oh, and what a terrible shame! That will mean you'll have to meet up with Amy again at some point. Oh. Such a hardship.
Amy is, she's a phenomenal fiddler, but she's also just an amazing person.
Yes.
Who is made of magic. Made of magic, that woman is. Yeah.
I'm going to be slightly technical here, Talis.
Yes.
Can you stand nearer the middle?
Nearer the middle?
You were leaning, you were sort of disappearing out of the shot.
Yeah.
It's really hard to avoid. When it's just you going it laldi, then I'm a teeny weeny thing in the corner, and you can move about and dot about and all that kind of stuff. But when we're talking like this, there's it's only the middle, so you're kind of. I'm just trying to bring my arms out to where my frame is. So that's about all I've got. If you look at that one.
Right. Yeah. Okay.
Oh,
so
it's really hard because I've not got the mirrored zoom display. I've just got the about there. Anyway.
So I've got from about there.
Yeah, there, and about there. You see?
Yeah.
So that's you calibrated. So now you know.
No, I know. I get a bit kind of carried away, and I'm like,
And I'm just spotting a new name in chat. Hello, Michael Grinder. Welcome aboard.
Hello.
I suppose, what am I going to sing after that?
I should hit buttons so I can see the chat, shouldn't I?
It's probably a good idea.
Can I do that? I don't know.
If not, Simon can point a phone at you.
Right. Yeah. No, I can't because it's through
because it's not.
Okay. No worries. You'll have to.
It's not.
Gotcha.
It's not Zoom chat.
You'll relay appropriate things to me, I'm sure. Yeah.
What's to sing? I really. I normally finish with this one, but it definitely feels. It's got that same sense of being about the magic of music. So I'm going to go with this. I'm going to go early with this one. As I rose up at break of day, all from beside my true love, I heard a blackbird sing his song, as beautiful as new love. There's not a court in all the world has heard a sound so rich, and ne'er a song has e'er been sung that has such perfect pitch. As I walked out this autumn morn, just as the sun was rising, and all the world with dew was hung, and the trees like silver shining, there's not a court in all the world has treasures fair as these, and ne'er a diamond shone so bright as sunlight through the trees. And later on this autumn day, I saw a tree fire burning, the leaves like flames of red and gold. They set my heart a-yearning, and then I heard another song from deep within my heart, awaiting just one touch of love before it may start. After love I ask of life just one simple thing, pray never let me see the day that will not let me sing. That's The Blackbird by Dave Webber. Isn't it a beauty?
Oh, yeah. That's got everything, hasn't it? That just...
Yeah. Just another new name in face. Barbara Karlik Halfyarka says hello.
Yes. Harper,
And Rick's
part-time
here. Rick
maid,
Hewitt. Sorry.
and amazing musician. Very good, very good, very.
I need to ask her on, do I?
And I'm sorry.
I need to ask her on as a guest, do I?
Yes, do.
Yes,
do.
boss.
All right.
Sorry.
No, absolutely. Here we go. Oh, well, I have one that sort of features Amy, which might be appropriate to ask, since we've been talking about Amy McNally. This is, you know how it goes. Songs get written from bits all over that you put into a pot and give a stir, and something comes out, and that's what you've got. One of the elements in this is that I was looking through a wonderful old book by illustrator Walter Crane. So that's like the first quarter of the last century. Really beautiful sort of Art Deco-ish personifications of the months and the festival days and days of the week and the seasons and so on. It's weird as and beautiful and very full of magic. Anyway, that, and then just think of Amy and there's a fiddler kind of running through, and there we go. So this is a very new thing. It hasn't been heard anywhere outside of me just singing it to practice it. So we'll see what happens. It's called Fiddler's Ways. May runs barefoot down the hall. The crown that she let fall lies scattered on the floor. She's left February behind. That month was too unkind. Now she's running out the door. May runs barefoot from the palace of the days, down the road towards tomorrow, for to follow Fiddler's ways. And when the such bright canopy of sky March waves as she rolls by, spring's consort go thou well. And once the sundial shadow meets the lake, the hour is May's to take, the tale is hers to tell. May has left behind her mantle and her shoes. Only let me not be cruel, I'll be a fool if I so choose. Oh, May has barefoot from the palace of the days, down the road toward tomorrow, for to follow Fiddler's ways. For the fiddler of the seasons played the morning sweet and fair, all among the honest ivy, seated on a wicker chair, and sweet dandelions and celandines, all dancing on their stems, with the golden spirals bright upon her skirt about her hem. May runs laughing down the road, now the weathercock has crowed, her silent days are through, and by the gate one blessing feather found, like a gift upon the ground, and she sings about a coat of velvet blue. Makes left behind her mantle and her shoes, only let me not be cruel, I'll be a fool if I so choose. Oh, May runs barefoot from the palace of the days, down the road toward tomorrow, for to follow Fiddler's ways, for the fiddler of the seasons goes upon her merry way, down the gravel road to everywhere, in the palace of the days, and her hands are in her pocket, and a smile is on her face, and she wears a long blue velvet coat as she goes from place to place. Time's a thief that wants to steal your joy away. Here's your fiddler's crown of flowers, now you're queen of all the May, running barefoot, running hopeful, from the palace of the days, and shadows poison sweet with sorrow, down the road towards tomorrow. I've a coat that you can borrow, for to follow Fiddler's ways, down the road towards tomorrow. Come and follow Fiddler's ways. May runs barefoot down the road.
Bloody hell, Talis. New faces here as well. We've got just catching. What have we got here? Gizmo Math Boy, who's a follower of mine on Mastodon, has finally made it in time for a song swap.
Hillary!
Rick
Hello!
Hewitt,
Yes, cool.
you've got chat now, have you?
Yes, Simon has done techie things. So Hillary is she plays harp, and I think I know Hillary plays harp, and Hillary and Barbara connected on a harp thing when Barbara was doing a song of mine, and Hillary knew me from my comics days.
Oh,
So yeah, writing,
comics days.
I was a comics writer for about this long.
Oh, right.
And yeah, so
What did you write?
I did so this is with the artist Fox. I did a thing called 20th
What Red
Century
Fox stuff?
Of Red Fox,
the Red
yes.
Fox, yeah.
Absolutely. 20th Century Dryad appeared for a couple of years, I think, in Venue, which was the Bristol-based What's On magazine. Used to be kind of like a Time Out. And then we did the Zen Zebras, full name Zombie Zulu Zen Zebras, which were an all-girl, all-zebra intergalactic rock band having adventures. And that was something that was done in more a manga style, which appeared in Helen McCarthy's Anime UK publication for a few issues. So,
And then just stuff.
Hillary is responsible for Zippy Couriers, which I know a lot of people remember with huge fondness from 2000 AD. So, hi, Hillary.
Oh,
Lovely
right.
to meet you.
I wasn't reading 2000 AD at that point. Sorry.
So there you go. Fiddler's Ways, brand new. Over
All
to
sorts
you.
of faces. All hail the Zen Zebras. I like the way that the title character is also an anagram of Amy. May running down the road. Amy.
You know, I didn't realise that. Oh my word! Oh my muse knows more than I do. Clearly, absolutely.
Right, if we're doing calendars, I've got to sing this one. This is by Andy Barnes, who is a fine songwriter, based in where is he now? Down in North Devon, where they have an obios, but not that one. I don't know, it's The Hunting of the Earl of Roan, which is in... Anyway, doesn't matter. It's not relevant to this song. Just do that. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. At Christmas time we have a carol sung to God on high. Then at New Year comes the wassail, mistress and master give to I. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. Easter is a time of devotion to He who died upon the cross. May Day is a time of celebration. Way, hey, get along, dance, old us. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. Summer is the time of the growing, green fields turn to gold in the sun. Autumn is the time of the harvest, praise and song when the work's all done. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. October brings the eve of All Hallows, when those who are gone do walk the earth. Then once again we're round to Christmas, praise and song for the virgin birth. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. There's a song for every season, sing it from your heart. There is none without any reason, each one plays its part. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, summer dies and autumn follows. Turn, turn, ye seasons, turn, and spring comes after winter. There you go. Turn, turn, ye seasons by Andy Barnes.
Oh, gorgeous.
It's a banger, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. It always feels that winter has been a long winter, and we're always a bit ready for spring, aren't we?
Yep.
Well, what have you got coming up your way? I saw we got Ransom's wild garlic all
right.
along the bank where I was walking this morning on the way to a train station, and they're just coming up. And I know in a week or two it'll be white lace the whole way.
Yeah. With Ramsons, you want to pick them before the white lace is out because they're at their best.
That's so right. Yeah. Noted. Okay.
Once they've flowered, the leaves are a little coarser and they're not as good. We've got a while to go with that. Daffs, our mini daffs they got hammered by the snow last week, so they're a bit hanging over the wall box. The snowdrops are just they're over, but they're still there. You can still see them.
Yeah, no, we've still got a lot of them. So wild garlic is kind of a savoury snowdrop, isn't it? Really. And then there was a tree down across so that was exciting. Bit of tree climbing in the morning. That's what you want. Yeah.
Oh, I should do something. One of these days I need to do that.
I need to make some weather.
I need to get some wild garlic and melt it down and push it into mashed potato and make wild garlic gnocchi.
Oh,
that would be good.
Oh, yes. Oh, yeah. Well, I don't have a song about wild garlic, but I do have a song about snowdrops. So, I don't know if Jill's listening tonight, but this, you'll remember, I think.
I doubt she's listening, but I'll definitely play her this bit later.
Distill it down later.
I remember
this
original
was a
music
conversation. Now. Goodness, what was it? It was over a year ago now. And I think Jill had put up a picture or something, and she was talking about snowdrops on social media, and introduced me to the folk name for them, Fair Maids of February, or Fair Maidens of February. And I was like, oh, well, that's gorgeous. That needs to be a song. And it is. Somebody else has written a song. You know,
wow.
Some things deserve more than one song.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, lots of things have way more than one song.
yeah, absolutely.
Talis,
Absolutely.
I
And
think we
ran
need
out
to
of
turn on
February.
original sound, by the way,
Thank you. There we
before
go.
it
Yeah,
swallows your guitar.
I ran out of February before I'd really got to arranging this last year. So this is another complete world debut. It's a little sod to play. Let's see what happens. But this is for Jill and for you. We all need snowdrops. We all need a bit of hope. So yeah, season's turning. We've got a theme going. There we go. Fair maidens of February, raise your green spears and herald the hope that we need. Your snow bells are ringing, a brittle young year. Give us beauty a bruised heart can read. Oh, light the way, light the way. Under the hedgerow, light the way, light the way. Beyond. Fair maidens of February, lift your pale heads as if summoned by sonnets and song. As you rise from your slumber and leave your soft beds, show us gentleness too can be strong. Light the way under the hedgerow. Light the way under the orchard beside. The garden is holding its breath. Will you carry us home through the coldest of tides? Fair maidens of February, raise your green spears and herald the hope that we need. Your snow bells are ringing, a brittle young year. Give us beauty a bruised heart can read. Light the way under the hedgerow. Light the way under the orchard beside. The garden is holding its breath. Will you come? Will you come? Will you carry us gallantly? Light the way under the hedgerow. Light the way under the orchard beside. The garden is holding its breath. Will you come? Will you come? Will you galliard every last soul of us home? Safe home through the coldest of tides. Fair maidens, fair maidens, fair maidens of February.
Bloody hell.
Gorgeous.
Gorgeous, Talis. Absolutely gorgeous. Keep doing it, don't you?
It's what I do. It's what I'm and I am so grateful for the chance to bring these things here and share them with people. Thank you. That's, yeah. It would be a sad thing indeed if I weren't, a song doesn't come all the way alive until you've sung it to people.
No, God, no. No.
So thank you, because this is a safe and welcoming place to be able to take risks with new things. So
yeah, it's always great to bring new stuff out. I mean, I'm when I'm learning new material, it's like I'll sit there and I will do the process by which I get lyrics into my head and tunes into my head, because as you know, I don't sing from words except for when I do this Rise Up Singing
fly,
challenge
my
and stuff
pretties,
like
fly.
that. Pardon?
Fly, my pretties, fly.
But the process, for me, the process of really learning it doesn't start until I start singing it out.
Yeah.
Because you don't know what it is. You can sing it a lot, and you can be inside the song, and you can, because again, I find when I'm singing is when I really learn what the song's about. But there's some, I'm not one to suffer from stage fright or anything like that. I don't have that hyper thing of performance, but in performance with an audience is a step up again in terms of actually being inside the song.
Yes.
In ways that it's I'm not a person who believes in mysticism, but it's almost mystical what happens when there's an audience. It's yes, way too early for snowdrops in Canada. Oh my God. When I went out to FKO and Jane put me up, and I did not realise that, was it April or late March or something in May in Canada, in Toronto, was going to be as cold as it was. Jesus. Oh, I walked around a lovely park and came back and I was just so cold because I'm just wearing my normal, what I would be wearing. I'm wearing a tweed jacket, and it's a lovely warm tweed jacket, but not on the east coast of the of North America, somewhere south of where I'd come from. Doesn't matter. It's bloody cold there.
Yeah.
So yeah, America is different, and Canada different weather than we have. Thank you very much for Marion for chucking money in the hat. I haven't got the usual graphic because I've been disorganised, so you'll just have to listen to the Ko-fi bot telling you what link to follow. Edwin was in Toronto last April. It was bright and sunny and lovely and freezing.
Yes.
Yeah, that was my experience as well. I'm just trying to think. Do I? I know what I'm going to sing. This is a traditional song, but there was a particular aspect to the plot of it. Oh, wrong button. There's a particular aspect to the plot of it that I wasn't particularly happy about. We've had this discussion, how you can fix lots of traditional songs by either leaving out the last verse or changing it.
Yes.
This is one I changed. My sweetheart, come along, don't you hear the fond song, the sweet notes of the nightingale play? You shall hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below. As she sings in the valley below. Pretty Betsy, just chat and I will carry your cat, and it's down to your cot we will go, where you shall hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below. As she sings in the valley below. Pray leave me alone, I have hands on my own, and along with you, sir, I'll not go, for to hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below. As she sings in the valley below. Pray sit yourself down with me on the ground, on this bank where those primroses grow, and you shall hear the fond tale of the sweet nightingale as she sings in the valley below. As she sings in the valley below. Well, he kept up this talk till he got kicked in the fork, and he fell where the stinging nettles grow. And she's still not afraid to go down in the shade, nor to walk in the valley below. nor to walk in the valley below. Such a gorgeous tune. But the usual plot is, darling, give us a shag. No, fuck off. Gi's a shag. Fuck off. Gi's a shag. And then they got married. Not having it. Not having it. Do not like this plot.
But the tune is charming. The tune is absolutely charming. I hadn't heard that before.
Gary's remembering to register FKO. I'm being told that it wasn't actually that cold for Canada, but it was still, cold for what I was expecting.
Yeah. And I got little white hairs everywhere. Yeah.
Some excellent cattage. She's really good for on stream, isn't she? Because she's guaranteed to be overexposed.
Yeah, absolutely. And she weighs nothing. She's just so light. So what I was getting a little poke in the middle of the back, and a boom, boom, boom. You know, a little trim. I was like, yeah. Well. So I do, of course, I do a cappella things as well from time to time. And
everyone should. It's vital.
One thing you may not have heard. White hairs everywhere. Yeah. Trains. Have I done? I don't think I've done this. The Summer of Trains. On a theme for seasons, because it's about the summer of trains.
Yep. Yeah.
So you may know that. Yes.
Don't forget to press the button.
Thank you. There we go. Thank you. You may know that the trains were the old steam trains. A whole lot of them that we see now on heritage lines were rescued because they maundered and half rusted away in scrapyards in Barry for quite a while. Now, my friend Nick, who is, among other things, the artist who did the woodcut of the Cotswold Sheep, which is on my Cloth of Gold mini album. When Nick were a lad, his father was a farmer in Gloucestershire. And Nick used to spend his boyhood summers watching the trains go up and down at the edge of their farmland. And he knew all the different sorts, all the different types. He was big on trains, was Nick. So, sit you up safe on the gate, lad, and wave to the trains. I've ploughing and harrowing yet to be done before it rains. Count them all out as they pass down the Barry-bound track. For as many as go, like as many will surely come back. The track ran along the top field where the best barley grew, and sometimes my wave were returned by the driver and crew. All that long summer I thought myself king of the sky, sitting up on the gate, watching train after train steaming by. And my father said, sit you up safe on the gate, lad, and wave to the trains. I've ploughing and harrowing yet to be done before it rains. You count them all out as they pass down the Barry-bound track. For as many as go, like as many will surely come back. Never was summer like that for the engines I saw. Never so many again, nor so many before. 3 times an hour, down to Cardiff from Gloucester they came, and they never returned. And my summers were never the same. Now that I'm grown, there's a good deal I've learned to regret. That summer of trains echoes painful and bright in me yet. At Barry the breaking yards took them for scrap and for steel by their 100, and cut them up, piston and funnel and wheel. After the smoke and the glory, the end of the line and the story, Some hid for years in the dust, beautiful under the rust. And my father said, sit you up safe on the gate, lad, and wave to the trains. I've ploughing and harrowing yet to be done before it rains. You count them all out as they pass down the Barry-bound track. For as many as go, like as many will surely come back. I counted them all as they passed down the Barry-bound track. But as many as went, hardly any trains ever came back.
God. Made me feel all unnecessary.
I don't know where Astra is. I'm a little worried now because
She went behind the backdrop somewhere.
Yeah, I think she... So it's going to go... Ba-dum, ba-dum, ba-dum.
Ruben's already brought a backdrop down on me.
Oh, no.
Sadly, we've lost Ruben, though, but Sally's not managed it yet. Well,
Tunes are brill, aren't they?
Pardon?
Tunes are brill, aren't they?
Tunes are brill.
Place for a tune to go.
Yes. So I suppose I'm going to go slightly tangentially.
Ooh, right.
This is by Stan Rogers. It is, yes, Stan Rogers. She went down last October in a pouring driving rain. The skipper he'd been drinking and the mate he felt no pain. Too close to 3 Mile Rock and she was struck a mortal blow. And the Mary Ellen Carter settled low. And there was just us 5 aboard her when she finally was awash. We worked like hell to save her, all heedless of the cost. And the groan she gave as she went down, it caused us to proclaim that the Mary Ellen Carter'd rise again, rise again, rise again. That her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. And those who loved her best and knew her with her to the end will see the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, the owners wrote her off, not a nickel would they spend. She gave 20 years of service, boys, and met a sorry end. But insurance paid the loss to us, so let her rest below. And they laughed at us and said we had to go. But we talked of her all winter, some days around the clock, for she's worth $250,000 a-floating at the dock. And with every jar that hit the bar we swore we would remain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. That her name not be to the knowledge of men. And those who loved her best and knew her with her to the end will see the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. Well, all spring now we've been with her on a barge lent by a friend. 3 dives a day in a hard hat suit and twice I've had the bends. Thank God it's only 60 feet and the currents here are slow, or I'd never have the strength to go below. But we've patched her ends, stopped her vents, dogged hatch and porthole down, put cables to her fore and aft and girded her around. Tomorrow noon we hit the air and then take up the strain and make the Mary Ellen Carter rise again, rise again, rise again. That her name not be lost to the knowledge of men. And those who loved her best and knew her with her to the end will see the Mary Ellen Carter rise again. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She's worth $250,000. For we couldn't leave her there, you see, to crumble into scale. She'd saved our lives so many times, living through the gale. And the laughing drunken rats who left her to a sorry grave, they won't be laughing in day, and you to whom adversity has dealt the final blow, with smiling bastards lying to you everywhere you go, turn to and put out all your strength of arm and heart and brain, and like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again, rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken and life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a lover, friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again, rise again, rise again, though your heart it be broken and life about to end, no matter what you've lost, be it a home, a lover, friend, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again, yes, like the Mary Ellen Carter, rise again. All the various filk variations, yes. Yes, we're in the process of learning Bill's well, with slightly modifying Bill's, like the Elder God, like the Sunken Isle of Rillier, Rise Again, but we're making it the Elder God Cthulhu, because the average folk club audience that we're likely to be singing in probably won't get the Rillier reference, but kind of might know who Cthulhu is. So...
I took the opportunity to scroll back and see some of the comments there. Yes, was it lovely rice pudding? What is the matter with Mary Jane? That's the one, isn't it? Yes, lovely rice pudding for dinner again.
And Mike Rogers in the circle, on the Dead Dog Circle, started singing the Mary Ellen Carter to the tune of the Sloop John B.
Ooh.
Doctored words, but it was the story, it was the plot of the Mary Ellen Carter to the tune of the Sloop John B, and it was magnificent.
Oh, my word.
And bless her, Marilisa did not clock what it was a parody of until the very last chorus. Must get Marilisa and Michon. Not managed to get Michon. I've had Marilisa a couple of times. On chat on here.
Yes. Her voice, her musicianship, her writing, and her as a person. Oh my goodness.
Yeah. She's great.
Yeah, absolutely. Oh, well. Something else? Fancy something else a cappella?
Yeah, go on. It's easier than picking up the guitar and retuning, isn't it?
So this is also very new. When you leave the hills behind you and the moorlands that you know so well, what will you do, love, when there's nowhere left? Hold on. Nowhere left to go. And somewhere deep inside you, there's a most familiar ache. You know that second coffee was a tactical mistake. Oh, the wild wee, among the bramble bushes or behind a handy tree. Oh, the wild wee. You passed a petrol station when you left the last real town. You didn't need it then, love, but you surely need it now. Even if you could turn back here, well, supposing that they've shut, perhaps some private corner waits behind a franchised hut. Oh, the wild wee, among the bramble bushes or behind a handy tree. Oh, the wild wee. Kinder roads have offered solace, actual toilets that were clean, hidden dells devoid of nettles bright with golden celandine. Nature calls, and I would answer without fear of being seen. I recall my mother's voice, before you go, make sure you've been. Oh, the wild wee, among the bramble bushes or behind a handy tree. Oh, the wild wee. I hope everyone's singing the chorus now. It's very heartfelt. I'm sure you've all had this feeling. Yes. This whole road should be resurfaced. There's no stopping place in sight. You're seeing stars as if it were the middle of the night, and you think with love and longing of the woodlands that you know, and you wish with all your bladder you could find a place to go. Oh, the wild wee, the wild, wild wee, among the bramble bushes or behind a handy tree. Do you know, at this point I'd consider anything. Oh, the wild wee, the wild, wild wee, among the bramble bushes or behind a handy tree. Oh, the wild wee.
I thought you were going to rhyme Golden Celandine with Golden Stream.
I mean, there were a lot of rhymes to choose from,
Yes.
but yeah. There we go. Old Davy there.
Follow that. Could you turn off original sound
Yes, thank you. There we go.
Chat. When Talis is starting to introduce a song, just say, press the button in chat, and she might notice it. Oh, crikey. There are anecdotes happening.
Oh, no!
Yes.
Oh, my goodness. Well, we've all been there, haven't we? We've all been.
Yeah.
And not
Ali's,
been.
Annie's
Yes.
wedding was after Annie's wedding. I should have gone, but didn't. And crikey. Anyway. Jesus. Okay, chat. Here's a way that I'll break the chain. Chat, pick a number between 1 and 261, not 69. And Gary is dead right. 89, says Mashyman. Right, 89 and 56. Let's see. We're turning to page 89 of Rise Up Singing. And I'm going to sing the first song. You can all stop now. I'm not going to do lots of them this time because I've got a guest. So, right, this is a bit pattery, so it might be a bit tricky. Oh, there's sober men aplenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, frae Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. Oh, there's many that feign enjoyment for merciless employment. Their ambition was this deployment since the minute they left the school. They save and scrape and ponder while they rest and go out and wander, see the world and rove and wander, and they're happier as a rule. Yes, the sober men are plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, frae Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. I've roamed through all the nations, ta'en delight in all creation, and I've tried a wee sensation where the company did prove kind. And when parting was no pleasure, I've drunken all the measure to the good friends that we treasure, for they always are in our minds. Yes, the sober men are plenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, frae Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world. If you're bent with arthritis, your balls have got bowels have got colitis, you've a galloping bronchitis, and it's thinking it's time you died. You've been a man of action, though you're lying there in traction. You may gain some satisfaction, thinking, Jesus, at least I tried. There are sober men aplenty, and drunkards barely 20. There are men of over 90 that have never yet kissed a girl. But give me a rambling rover, frae Orkney down to Dover. We will roam the country over, and together we'll face the world.
Excellent. I know that one from Silly Wizard.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, bless him. Yeah. Oh, you took that one at a lick, didn't you?
I did, yes. Oh, well, you know, you're going to do it.
Oh, yeah. Fling yourself headlong down into it. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It's Ground Leathers. Lots of people. Lots of people.
Lots of
Lovely to see so many
lots of
faces.
things. Excellent. So what are you learning at the moment, Piers? Have you got I don't know. Do you pick songs up from other people? Do you go to like the original manuscripty old books and things?
Well, there's
shape them.
There's one we took from Folk Songs in the Upper Thames and made a tune for it, and then made a couple of verses for it because it had only got 2 verses, and it was just sufficiently silly that it needed more verses, and it needed an end. Because the thing about, I don't know if you think about these sort of the great songs, and they're great for singing in sessions. Things like Roll the Old Chariot Along and Old Time Religion and You'll Never Go to Heaven, where the pleasure of it is thinking up new verses.
Yes.
And just extending it and extending it and extending it. The problem with those is, how do you stop? Because you kind of like got to, I mean, I finish, as I think you've been in sessions where I have. So with Roll the Old Chariot Along, I just tend to sing, and a way to end this song wouldn't do us any harm. And just stop, and that works. Yeah. But a lot of them don't really feel that way. So we managed to resist the urge to write too many verses, and actually come up with a final verse that felt like a final verse. This is me and Emily Eastwood, who I'm singing with and rehearsing with. So mostly what we're doing there is making that repertoire solid. We've doctored Bill Laubenheimer's Elder God Rillier, the Sunken Isle of Rillier to be Elder God Cthulhu. Very few other changes, just that to make it less, make it a bit more non-fan friendly.
So mostly, are you booking up gigs? Are you gig
Not
hunting?
yet. We are. Emily's got the best job in the world. She got it. She was an archaeologist for Wessex, and she kind of got itchy feet. And a job came up at Hardwick Hall, Bess of Hardwick, all the glass. Bess of Hardwick, the most amazing woman in sort of Elizabethan times, just an absolute badass. And they needed an archaeologist for the whole estate. And also involved in communication of it and all sorts of things, because it's a National Trust gig, and they're not swimming in money, so people have to do a lot. But if that's your lot, it's quite brilliant. So she's got that gig, and she is just loving it. But also, it's time consuming and energy sapping and all that kind of stuff. So we're being a bit. We're not quite. We haven't produced a demo yet to go out and get gigs, but we really should. We're going to be singing out quite a bit at Sheffield Sessions Fest at Easter.
I saw a thing about that. That looked really fun.
That is a brilliant. If you fancied coming up, it would be brilliant.
Made of sessions.
Yes, and really, I spend most of my time in the sing-arounds, but there's some brilliant instrumental sessions, and some brilliant, they have a couple of slow and steady sessions, and nice. Parents and baby sessions and all that kind of stuff. So it's a lovely, lovely festival.
Oh, gorgeous. And that's Easter, isn't it?
Sheffield, Easter weekend. If you're not going to EasterCon, come to Sheffield. Just Good Friday, Saturday and Sunday. And it's the most magical. Some brilliant singers, some brilliant instrumentalists. The E-flat, B-flat session is just a thing of beauty, because everyone's bringing out saxophones and tenor horns and trumpets and stuff like that, and playing tunes that are in not just playing sort of tunes that have been transposed into E-flat, B-flat, but there are quite a lot of absolutely banging tunes in the tradition. In E-flat and B-flat and stuff like that. So they're playing a lot of those as well. And it's a grand session. There's lots of good stuff like that going on. So that's what I'm doing in terms of practicing. I've not got much in the way of. Oh, Hilary has to go and practice. I've not got much in the way of new material that I'm after learning. But something, I don't know about you with learning new material, something will strike the ear and go, you need to sing me. And at that point, suddenly I'm learning it. And then,
Yeah. Well, I've had earworms from you, both musical and lyrical, where things that I've heard you sing a number of times have gone in and gone, I need to do something with you.
yes.
You know that my Tamlyn obsession, which may have run its course now, touch wood, which was very much fed by hearing you sing Tamlyn a number of times. Sure, I'm trying to think if you've heard me do Jenny Rode Out, which was the final one that I did of that.
I don't think I have.
Ooh. But also, what is it? It's a gospel song you sing.
The Good Old Way.
And it's a gorgeous tune, but I couldn't quite get with the words.
Oh, I'll tell you what.
I made some new ones.
Get your ears around In the Round by Leverett, because they play that as an instrumental and it's banging. Oh my God, it's so good.
Love Leverett. Absolutely. Hoping to maybe go see them this year. Yeah.
Oh wow, yeah.
What they do with old tunes, but also the new tunes that they write have a way of. It's like a thing with a tune. I like a tune to go somewhere that it needs to go so that you're satisfied by it getting there, but it needs to get there by a means that you didn't utterly predict. There's a sweet spot, isn't there? And if a tune, this works for melodies of songs as well, if it's too obvious, it doesn't go anywhere fresh. It doesn't delight the ear. But if it's trying to be too deliberately clever and goes off piste just to go somewhere new, then that's also not appealing. It's not satisfying. And there's a sweet spot between. It's kind of like for plots for stories, really. It's got to end up where it's got to end up. So that
it's
you go,
the classic thing. You want music to set up tension and resolve it in a way that surprises you.
Yes.
But if it's too surprising,
it like
it's
the only
not.
Thing it could possibly have done.
Yes, and then afterwards, it's like, oh well, of course.
Of course. Yeah.
And I mean, for people in chat who don't know who Leverett are, they're Andy Cutting, Rob Harbron, and Sam Sweeney, who are each of them probably the finest players of their instrument of their generation, sort of thing. And they've got together and I have the feeling every single member can't quite believe that they've got the other two in a band. and they are just sublimely good. They're all their albums are actually from live recordings, and they instead of making it obvious they're live recordings, they take out the sound of the crowd. And it's just so they're properly live, and they have that slightly improvisational quality to them that you want to hear that kind of it's great.
That's joyful stuff, isn't it? Whose turn is it? Where are we at? Should we have another song?
Yeah,
is it you? Is it
I
me?
think it's your turn because I sang something.
Right,
I sang something out of Rise Up Singing.
Okay. Well, we've had snowdrops, and we've had various seasonal things. I'm learning. She can be taught. This is on my most recent recording. Got a little EP with 4 tracks called One Song Short of Never. And this is The Snow King. The Snow King walked right by my house one morning. He left no footprints. I went out to look. He turned and met my gaze as I sat reading. I knew him from the pictures in my book. His eyes were like the storms in late November, his hands deep in the pockets of his coat. His scarf was red as blood, and holly berries, the scarlet of it close about his throat. And he sang, frost upon the verge, frost upon the hedge, frost upon the field beyond, frost upon the last of the apples on the tree, frost upon the orchard pond. He gestured wide to summon rooks and ravens. He recognized and greeted each by name. His face was fierce and wild and not unkindly, and none of them were any sort of tame. I could have run to him, but I was frightened. To conquer fear, I hadn't yet learned how. The Snow King walked right by my house that morning. I'd run to him if I should see him now. And he sang, frost on the verge, frost on the hedge, frost on the field beyond, frost on the last of the fruit on the tree, frost on the orchard pond, frost on the verge, frost on the hedge, frost on the field beyond. He sang the frost on the last of the fruit on the tree, frost on the orchard pond. His scarf was red as blood and holly berries. His coat was long and dark, his head was bare. And though he stilled my heart with his frost and snowflakes, still I will bind his shining silver hair. And though he stilled my heart with his frost and snowflakes, just once I'll bind his shining silver hair. Frost on the verge, frost on the hedge, frost on the field beyond. Thank you.
One of these days,
Yeah.
you're going to sing one and I'm going, no, I didn't like that one. Hasn't happened yet.
I try not to sing the ones I think you might not like. Honestly, the songs I have written that nobody has heard.
Oh, God, yes. Yes. The great editor is yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Although I once had I've got friends who are regular songwriters who do that thing of being a very vicious editor with themselves, and also Nancy Kerr
Yeah.
reckons that she sings, if she finishes writing it, she sings it. She sings everything out, and she lets the audience decide what's good,
Blimey.
because a lot of the time, from audience reaction,
Yeah.
she's been wrong. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah.
I respect that. I'm not quite sure I would have the nerve to do it, but I can definitely respect that. Then again, I've not written that many songs, so I think every song I've finished writing I have sung out.
Right.
But yeah, she sings everything.
Maybe she has tunes for and with every lyric she produces. I don't. I'm lyrics first,
Right.
99% of the time. Sometimes a lyric comes out with a sense of what the melody is. Sometimes the melody follows shortly after. And sometimes the lyric sits there as a sheet of paper
Waiting for a tune.
until I go tune hunting for it.
Yeah.
So the lyrics that fail to excite me or that get superseded by something else that I'm more excited about never get tune hunted.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, I mean, the joy of ballad meter is you can sing them. You can sing anything you want.
yeah.
You know, you can sing it to any tune you like. I forbid you maidens all that wear gold in your hair to come and go by Carter Hall, for young Tamlyn is there. You know, you can. The great joy of common meter.
Oh yes, oh yes, oh yes. Oh, one of the delightful conversations I was privileged to be part of at the FiltCon was with Bill and Brenda Sutton and assorted others. We got into the nitty-gritty of how different poetic forms emerge from the language of the country where they're emerging, because whatever shape a language takes will inform what poetry is both appropriately challenging and pleasant on the ear.
Yes.
So a language where everything ends with the same suffix,
Yeah.
rhyming is not going to be anything of a game. There's no satisfaction in it. Whereas when rhymes are somewhat fewer, and I think English qualifies for that.
Oh yeah. I mean,
Then let's game the rhyme. But alliteration then takes over.
yes,
and
lots of
internal-
lots of English. There's a fantastic book by James Fenton, I think, called English Verse, and he goes into a lot of where English verse meters come from, and lots of them come from Italian.
right.
But what they do is Italian. The verse forms are vowel lengths because they've got long vowels and short vowels.
Yeah.
So your what we think of as iambic pentameter in Italian is long vowel, short vowel. Well, sorry, short vowel, long vowel, short vowel, long vowel. And these verse forms come over to English, and of course we don't have anywhere near enough long vowels to make that sort of thing work.
Yeah.
So it came over to it, but Italian isn't really a stress language in quite the same way. But English stress is really important. So the thing came through, and now it's unstressed, stressed, unstressed, stressed, and that then changes. And in English, rhymes are thin on the ground.
Yeah.
Therefore, rhyming is a positive thing in poetry and songwriting.
Yes.
Whereas in Italian, rhymes are so fucking easy.
You're tripping over them everywhere.
You're better off trying to be unrhymed anyway.
Yeah,
it's sort of fancier. It's more of a constraint on the poet to be unrhymed.
That's it. What's the challenge? Yeah.
And it's a fascinating. Really can't recommend it highly enough. Along with Stephen Fry's The Ode Less Travelled, which is much more about just learning a bunch of verse forms and giving yourself permission to muck about in them. Which is why the first song I ever wrote is in ballad meter, because I'd read his chapter on ballad meter and I suddenly worked out how it worked. So when I had a song that needed writing, it just fell into ballad meter, which is ballad meter is common meter, but less strict on number of syllables. It's all about the number of stresses, and if you've got 4 unstressed syllables and 1 stressed syllable, and you still make it fit, then you're fine. Whereas in common meter, in hymn writing, if you're sticking 2 syllables on an unstressed syllable, you'll get looked at askance by your choir master, if nothing else. Ballad meter is much more flexible and fluid in that regard. But you can sing anything, any common meter tune, you can sing a ballad to.
Yeah.
Although, occasionally I put an extra stressed syllable in because, hey, it's poetry. And the great thing about being an unaccompanied singer, that extra stressed syllable is not going to throw the band off because there isn't a band. But no, you're dead right. It's fascinating, the sort of where poetry comes from. Sorry, I interrupted you. I'm just...
No, absolutely. It's all good. It's all good. Yeah. So it's a question of what's the challenge? What's the enjoyable challenge? Yeah. And of course, in English as well, I can't speak for other languages, but in English too, there are enough ways to approach saying a thing. If the first way you come at it doesn't fit the meter neatly enough and satisfyingly enough, then, I mean, for me as a songwriter, one of the things I adore is trying to figure out how to express what I'm trying to express in a correct syntactical way that fits the meter.
Yes.
And sometimes you have to unpick a bit to come at it from a slightly other angle to find words that will fit. And I will unpick a long way back to try and make it fit.
Oh, no, yeah.
It feels like something you'd say, something like something you'd sing, not...
Yes. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of poetic language in poetry. Yeah. It's got to feel like it's got to feel like a thing that someone as their best self might say as a sentence. Yeah. Rather than, the classic one is said he, or whatever, where they're just reversing word order. And English is load bearing enough that you can understand what's going on.
Oh, but load bearing. Yes, I love it. Yes.
But at the same time, it's like, no, try harder, do better.
And he did ride.
And she did ride. Oh, right, yes, yeah. Then again, in Vincent Black Lightning 1952, there's a they did ride and it's fine.
That's it. Always exceptions.
Always exceptions to the rule. JT, Steve, Edwin, sometimes songwriting feels like solving a puzzle to me, which is a large part of the fun. Absolutely. Yes. And it has to feel like a real conversation. And the other thing in English, of course, is the more constrained the rhyme scheme, the more constrained the form is, the more usually it turns into comic verse.
Oh God, yes.
You notice that? It's just that. Our serious stuff gets written in iambic pentameter, which is so fluid, or ballad meter and common meter and stuff like that. And the comedy stuff is in limericks, which is a very tight form. Or what makes Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night so amazing is the way form and content, because villanelles are absolute bastards as form goes, and it's a villanelle. It's really, really tight and constrained, and it's one of those ones where you're far more likely to find someone attempting to be comic in a villanelle because of all that repetition of long stretches of text. Yeah. And Do Not Go Gentle Into That Good Night is so amazingly good because whilst being in that incredibly constrained form, talking about his feeling of constraint in addressing his father's cancer, it still feels like a naturally flowing thing, and it's just amazing. And when poets can use those kind of almost comic verse forms to talk about something serious, that's often mind blowing. But right.
I think it's for a song, isn't it?
Oh my God. Marion has written the final chorus of Sheep, Sheep, Sheep. Did I mention to you that there's sheep? Marion, you're a bad, bad woman. Please send those words to Chantel. Well, I've still got my slapback turned on. I'll see if I can reignite your obsession. I forbid you, maidens all, and a warning take by me. Don't go down to the chaser's wood. If a maid you want to return, return. If a maid you want to return. Lady Margaret, she's sitting in the hall. Her cheeks as red as the rose, and she's run down to the chaser's wood to pull them flowers that grow and that grows. To pull them flowers that grow. But she hadn't pulled the one red rose, a rose but barely 3 agree, when a voice said, Lady, how dare you touch a rose without no leave of me and of me, without no leave from me? Well, this wood, she says, 'tis my very own. Me father, he gave it to me, and I'll bend, I'll bow, I'll break a branch. Shall ask no leave of thee and of thee. I shall ask no leave of thee. Well, he's taken her by the lily white hand to where the grass it grows so green, and what they done there, well, I just couldn't say. For the green leaves came between, aye, the green leaves came between. And now there's 24 maidens all sitting in the hall, their cheeks as red as the rose, all except for Lady Margaret. Pale and wan she goes, goes, goes. Aye, it's pale and wan she goes. Yes, there's 24 maidens all sitting in the hall, all playing at the chess, all except for Lady Margaret, who's green as any grass, any grass. She's as green as any grass. And up and spoke one of them girls, and on her face was a smile, saying, I think my lady's loved a little long, and now she goes with child, with child. Aye, now she goes with child. And up and spoke an old grey knight leaning over the garden wall. Oh, woe be to you, Lady Margaret, for we'll be blamed all, blamed all, we'll be blamed all. Had your tongue, you old fat knight, and an ill death may you dee. I'll father me bairn on whom I will, shall father none on thee, on thee. I shall father none on thee. And up and spoke another of them girls, and a pretty little maid was she, saying, I know a herb grows in the chaser's wood, 'twill twine the babe from thee, it will twine the babe from thee. And Lady Margaret, she has taken out a silver comb, she has combed her hair, and then she's run down to the chaser's wood as fast as she could tear, as fast as she could tear. But she had not pulled the one bitter herb, the herb that grows there in the grey, when she heard Tamlyn behind her saying, Margaret, leave it alone, oh sweetheart. Margaret, leave it alone, oh why do you want that bitter, bitter herb, the herb that grows there in the grey, except for to twine away the pretty little babe that we got in our play and our play, that we got in our play. Well, tell me this, Tamlyn, she says, whether a mortal man you be. Well, I'll tell you the truth without a word of a lie. I got christened as good as thee, got christened as good as thee. But as I rode out on a bitter, bitter day, it's from my horse I fell, and the Queen of the Elvins did take me into yonder green wood to dwell and dwell, into yonder green wood to dwell. And every seventh year we pay a toll to hell, and the last to come in is the first to go. And tonight the toll's mysel, tonight the toll's myself. For tonight it is the Halloween, when the elven court must ride, and if you would your true lovers save, by the old mill bridge you must bide and bide, by the old mill bridge you must bide. And first there'll come a black horse, and then there'll come a brown, they'll both race by the white. You must throw your arms up about my neck, and they must not hear a fright, no, they must not hear a fright, and they'll change me then, and it's all in your arms, into many's the beast that's wild. You must hold me close, fear me not, I'm the father of your child, you know I am, father of your child. Well, the woods grew dark, and the woods grew dim. Tamlyn was gone, and she's picked up her lily white feet, and to the old mill bridge she has run, run, run. To the old mill bridge she has run, but she's looked high and she's looked low, she's compassed all around, and she nothing saw, she nothing heard, she's heard no mortal sound, any sound, she's heard no mortal sound. But at the darkest hour of that night she heard a bridal bell ring. It pierced her heart, gave her a start, more than any mortal thing, anything, more than any mortal thing. And first there come a black horse, and then there come a brown. They both raced by the white, and she's thrown her arms about Tamlyn's neck, and she did not give a fright, a fright. No, she did not give a fright. And then thunder rolled across the skies, the stars shone bright as day, and the queen of the elvins gave a trilling cry, Tamlyn's away, away, oh, Tamlyn's away. And they've changed him then, and it's all in her arms, to a big black dog to bite, and she's held him close, she's feared him not, he didn't her a fright, a fright, no, he didn't her a fright. And they've changed him again, and it's all in her arms, to a big black hissing snake, she's held him close, she's feared him not, he's one of God's own make, own make, he is one of God's own make. And they've changed him again, and it's all in her arms, to a white hot bar of iron, and she's held him close, she's feared him not, he's done to her no harm, no harm, he has done to her no harm. And they've changed him again, and it's all in her arms, to a lion roaring wild, and she's held him close, feared him not, he's the father of her child, he's the father of her child. And they've changed him at last, and it's all in her arms, to a mother naked man, and she's thrown a cloak about his shoulders, crying, Tamlyn, we've won, love, we've won, my love, Tamlyn, we've won. Well, the queen of the elvins, how she cursed young Tamlyn, oh, how she cursed him good. Oh, when you was mine, I should have pulled out your eyes, and put into eyes of wood, yes, put into eyes of wood. Oh, curses on you, Tamlyn, she says, you once was my very own, and when you was mine, I should have plucked out your heart, and put in a heart of stone, cold stone, yes, put in a heart of stone.
Oh. So powerful. Oh, yeah, yeah.
I don't write them like that anymore.
Oh, I don't know. I don't know. No, that's, well, you know, I adore that, and I adore your singing of it. And there are sections in that that are not part of how I'd heard it before. I heard you do it, and the bit with the chess game, and then the ending with the eyes and the heart of stone.
Oh yeah, it's brutal, isn't it? It's real.
Yes. Oh, it is.
Malice in it. And the
set my muse off writing song after song about that. Still am, you know. Absolutely.
Yeah, the Old Grey Knight in, I think, the Oxford Book of Ballads. There's a full extra. A father turns up and she has an argument with him about, no, he's great. He's an elfin knight and he's fine. And I can't be bothered. But that bit where she absolutely bites that knight's head off for being so.
Yeah.
Whatever. She's an amazing woman in that song.
Super, isn't it? Yes.
Yeah.
There is definite small cattage going on behind me. Where is she now? She's behind it. Yeah. There we are. Well then, I say. Well then.
Well then.
Mr.
If you're going to do that.
Yeah. So I did nick the tune for this. I occasionally do. thing about stories like Tamlyn is there are so many versions of them. The names change, they wander around. So you could kind of take any two names and they could start with the same letters, but they don't have to. And you can go, what if this? And you can go, what if that? And what if it started differently? And what if it middled differently and ended differently? Also, I think middling differently is a thing now. I like that. Anyhow. Now Tim's come home from the fairy realm, and it's thanks to his good wife Jenny. She's found the flaw in the Fay Queen's spell, and it cost her much and many. Now Tim's feet up in his chair at home. It's Jenny who does the cleaning. Come market day, she's on her way, past the closing, the gleaning. And Tim, he hollers for one more beer. He's wondering where she's got to. He's left his clothes on the floor again. He hasn't the good sense not to. He could have washed up and cleaned the sink, cooked her a nice hot supper, but he's no great shakes at the cooking and such. He isn't the best washer of her. Now Jenny comes home, there's a heck of a row. She's tired of his behaviour. If the Queen comes by for a second go, says I reckon she done me a favour. And as I cook and clean till me hands are raw, he sits around here drinking. I reckon I was better off on me own. That's as far as I'm thinking. Now Jenny's gone out to the garden gate with a supper of bread and honey. She says, oh, you Queen, you can have him back. I'm actually not being funny. And suddenly there's the Fairy Queen, all glowing guile and glamour. The sight of her knocked Jenny down like a heart's been hit with a hammer. The Queen says, well, now isn't that sad? After all the trouble you went to, you held on tight, you held on fast. Look at where it's got you. I'd be lying if I said I was tempted here. He sounds like a right old handful, and I have an idea you might like more. I'll put it to you plain and simple, 'cause you beat me fair and square last time with your calm, clever thinking. There's an empty saddle on me daddle grey mare. Say we leave old Tim to his drinking. Well, Jenny has wit and Jenny has will. Jenny has a certain something. Oh, you'd look fine on me daddle grey mare. Girl, she's your sort of riding. And Jenny has wit and Jenny has will. Jenny has a certain something. I'm sure she'll be your own to make. But the door to the hill is closing. I said the door to the hill is closing. Now Tim's gone out to the garden gate to see what's up with Jenny. He hears two women laughing soft, and then he doesn't hear any. Oh, Jenny's rode out by the old mill house, only the cats to see her. And Jenny's rode out by the nettle path, crows in the line of poplar. And Jenny's rode out by the standing stones. Jenny's rode out so merry, and the moon shone silver on her hair. And Jenny chose and Jenny dared, and didn't she suit that apple grey mare? As she followed the Queen into fairy.
Wow! What a banger!
Oh, it's fun. It's fun to do that. Yeah.
That's a cracker. Have you read Thomas the Rhymer by Ellen Kushner?
I haven't. I know I should. I know I really, really should.
Yeah, she's really good on the after.
Yeah.
Thomas
Because
coming
stories
back
don't stop, do they?
No.
And then what? And then what?
Yeah. Yeah, it's a thing that Pratchett was very good at as well.
Yeah.
And indeed, I mean, Lord of the Rings. You think the story's over, and then there's the whole scouring of the Shire and stuff like that, and the consequences that are there. It's Chastity. I think that's a hit. Yeah, I think you're right, Chastity. That's a banger. Tell you what, someone following me in the circle with that rather than the talking Tamlyn blues or whatever it's called, I'd be very happy with. The Diana Wynne Jones Fire and Hemlock is another absolute cracker.
Oh my word, yes.
But then again, Diana Wynne Jones couldn't write a bad book to save her life.
What a lady! What an absolute made of magic. Made of magic she was. Yeah. The thing with that. Now I wrote that lyric over a supper time at Steve Payne's house in between bits of recording, and he was cooking supper, and we were riffing on the Tamlyn story, and bits of it started somewhere with my phone. So, excuse me, Steve, types a bit down, and then we chat about, oh, hang on a minute, and there's the next verse. But then I had to hone it so hard because when you're singing that fast and that solidly, you've got to give yourself places to breathe, and some of the lines went through an awful lot of metamorphosis before I hit on the form of words that just felt...
That flows.
Oi, you queen, you can have him back. I'm actually not being funny. That's my favourite bit. I think that's the best bit. I think that's the best bit. And it didn't start off that way. But it's pushing the envelope of the traditional sounding for most of it, and then chucking in something that is so colloquial, but it's got to fit wise, or it takes you out of the story. You know, it's got to be surprising, but not spoil the magic.
I'm reminded of that, and it's all part of that songwriting as puzzle solving, isn't it? There's my mate Chris Manners wrote a fantastic song called 99 Years about how things are going right since he met his girlfriend. And it's all these amazing, implausible things. You know, he's Jeffrey Boycott out first ball because I foxed him in the flight. And it's I sent trucks into Sarajevo and the convoy. We sent trucks into Sarajevo and the convoy all got through. And I had Stephen Hendry nailed to his seat by a clearance to the blue. Is how he recorded that song. That's the couplet that's in there. And apparently, about 2 weeks after he'd recorded it, it occurred to him that if he sent trucks into Sarajevo and the convoy all got back, then the clearance was to the black.
Yes. Sometimes a rime feels, it's like a gift, isn't it? And you see something, it just kind of lands, and it's just, yeah.
And Chris, I got to get Chris back on. Chris writes the most amazing songs. Everyone else, you know, responding to COVID's writing songs about COVID and stuff like that.
Yeah.
He wrote a song. His COVID song is a song about Lord Franklin's expedition freezing to death in Hudson Bay.
Right.
It's amazing, and it's if you look on my YouTube stuff, there's a chat with him which includes the song, and the song is phenomenal, called "The Darkness and the Cold." Paula Lieberman hasn't yet read Shannon's latest. No, I haven't read the latest ones. I have a slight argument with Shannon about her representation of Margaret Janet, but you know, it's her book, so it's great.
I love the Toby Day books, but the encrypted books got me through a lot of the pandemic. I found I couldn't read, and I still struggle to read new stories.
Right.
But I ordered up a whole load of the ones I hadn't got yet from her encrypted series, and somehow they were a safe place. There were places I knew she wouldn't go, and I could enjoy the ride without, I don't know, without the anxiety and stress that other dramas seem to give me.
I have a recommendation for you then.
Yeah.
Everything Becky Chambers ever wrote.
Right.
But specifically a psalm for the Wildborn. And it's solar punk, and I think you would love it. It's a little novella, and it's about a post-industrial world where the robots just walked off the job. And that's not really what the story's about. That's just kind of the setting. And you'll read it in 2 or 3 hours, and it is beautiful. Isn't it? Amy is backing me up here. It is utterly beautiful, and you will love it. You will absolutely love it.
Okay.
It's calm and lovely and short, but there's enough in it. There's you've got the proper journey and realization and character transformation. And I've got to get the second one, but the first one is just the Monk and Robot books, I think they're called, and they
Excellent.
are.
Sounds fun.
The first one is look what people are saying. It is beautiful.
Yeah. No, I've been rereading a lot of beloved Rosemary Sutcliffe, Robin McKinley, Barbara Hambley.
Yeah.
I don't know about you. Films, contemporary films.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I struggle with following the action scenes because everything is all
there's so much
all the time. Yeah. Whereas when I watch things from the 90s or the 80s, it's a lot more kind of sedate. And I go, yes. And I feel reading fantasy novels from the 1980s, it's like it's a happy little safe place in my head.
Oh, there's so much fucking grimdark these days. Go away. I don't want you.
Yeah.
Don't. Although I've just inhaled Naomi Novik's Solomon's books.
Right.
They're great, but they kind of feel like they're set in a grimdark world, but then they end up not being. They don't go to a grimdark place, if that makes any sense, and it's great.
Yeah. And people, I don't know. I talked earlier about things like steampunk and so on. Pretend and play and being silly, stirring history with a stick and having a laugh at things, and it's not nothing to make people laugh.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah.
Now, I've written funny songs on and off all my songwriting, usually at about the rate of about one a year. But the last few years, it's really ramped up as a part of what I do. I love to make people laugh.
Yes.
It's magic. It's brilliant making people laugh.
Yes.
So a new project that I'm going to be doing some of the gigs that I mentioned earlier, steampunk things and so on. This is with illustrator Thomas Brown, and as Wild Crumpets, we will be doing. Do you know? It comes out a little bit more like it's a cross between Flanders and Swan, Morecambe and Wise, Pam Ayers, and a little bit of George Burns and Gracie Allen. Silly songs. Oh my goodness, yes. My muse just went, right, we're all about the silly now. And it's got krakens and ghosts and haunted tea sets and tentacles and whimsy about medieval dances and black jeggings and mice and snails and big snails and things that people used to write and draw in the margins of medieval manuscripts. And we're having a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So I'm going to be taking that to some of my gigs, working with Thomas and doing that, which is an utter counterpoint to things like The Snow King and Fair Maids of February. I'm still writing that kind of thing too, but it's so much fun to be silly, just to make people laugh. And it's not nothing. No. It gives people a bit of solace, a bit of distraction. It, resets you, gives you a little bit of strength when you're coping with shit stuff, and so many people are coping with shit stuff just to make people laugh.
Oh, absolutely. I think I found Lauren's sets at the Filtcon. I loved the material, but it was a bit dark and heavy going.
Yeah.
But that one in her, was it the second set where she talked about her OCD in a way
wash my hands
that managed to both play it for laughs and also make the horror of it utterly apparent.
Yes,
and that was
at the
same time. Some fantastic songwriting, but that was the one that just went
utterly.
Poof.
Yeah.
That is just because the sort of black humor of it makes you listen to it more.
Yes.
Yes. And it's amazing how that kind of use of dark humor can actually put a song's message across so much more powerfully.
Oh, absolutely. She does that. She does that. Take your heart and soul and just go, there you are. There you are. It's my songs. Yeah.
And I'm most of her material is not really my kind of thing. It's really, really good.
Yeah.
And I was
and that's
phenomenal
fine,
playing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But Wash My Hands is just like sort of just up there, just proper.
Yeah.
Not that the others weren't. Oh God. Anyway.
Song time?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I best sing something before I dig myself any deeper. Another ballad, I think. Sorry.
Never apologise.
With another badass woman.
Excellent.
Couple of badass women in this one, actually. Comb back your hair, fair Annie, he says. Comb it back into your crown, for you must live a maiden life when I bring my bridal home. Oh, how shall I look maiden-like when maiden I am none? When 6 fair sons have I had by you, and the 7th coming on. Oh, you will bake my bread, he says, and you will keep my home, and you will welcome my lady gay when I bring my bridal home. Now 6 months gone and 9 coming on. Oh, sorry, I missed a verse. And to the door he is fixed a silken towel held by a silver pin, that fair Annie might dry her tears as she went out and in. Now 6 months gone and 9 coming on, she thought her time all along, and she's taken a spyglass in her hand, and to the topmost tower she's gone, and she's looked east, she's looked west, she has looked all under the sun, and who should she see but Lord Thomas, a bringing of his bridal home. So she's called for her 7 sons, by 1, by 2, by 3, and she has said to the eldest one, oh, tell me what you see. And he's looked east, he's looked west, he has looked all under the sun, and who should he see but his father dear, a bringing of his bridal home. Oh, shall I dress in green, she says, or shall I dress in black? Or shall I go down to the raging main and send my soul to wrack? No, you need not dress in green, he says. No, you need not dress in black, but throw you wide those great hall doors and welcome my father back. And you're welcome, welcome, Lord Thomas, she says, and you're welcome unto me, and welcome, welcome, you merry men all, that you've brought across the sea. And she served them all with the best of the wine. She has served them all round, but she's drunk water from the well, for to keep her spirits down. Yes, she served them all the livelong day, till she thought her time all long, and then she's taken a flute all in her hand, and it's up into her bower she has gone. And she's fluted east, she's fluted west, she is fluted loud and shrill. She's wishing that her sons were 7 greyhounds, and she a wolf on the hill. Come down the stairs, the new bride says, come down the stairs to me, and tell me the name of your father dear, and I'll tell mine to thee. Well, King Douglas it was my father's name, and Queen Chatham was my mother, and sweet Mary was my sister dear, and Prince Henry was my brother. Well, if King Douglas it is your father's name, and Queen Chatham is your mother, then I'm sure that I am your sister dear, as Prince Henry is my brother. And I have 7 ships out on the main, they are loaded to the brim, and 6 of them will I give to you, and the 7th for to carry me home. Yes, 6 of them will I give to you, when we've had Lord Thomas burned. It's a hell of a plot, isn't it, that one? Such a stupid man.
There's such a lovely way of sinking into the story. It's storytelling that happens to be in metre and rhythm and rhyme, isn't it?
Yeah. Just phew. Love that song. Love that song. There's
That
a
one's
brilliant.
another one that speaks to me. Yeah.
There's a version that Debbie Armour Bird Ellen does, where she goes hard on that section when she goes up and wishes that her sons were 7 greyhounds and she's a wolf on a hill. There's 3 or 4 other verses where, you know, she's wishing they were rats and she was a cat, and how she's that's and it's brutal. This idea of, you know, that she's so tied down by these children, and it's well, men in folk sources, and it's an amazing sequence of verses. I prefer that. I don't like to do. I'm telling that story of the sister and sisterhood, but Debbie concentrates on an entirely other aspect of the verses, and comes out feeling very different. It's a great song. It's just there's lots in it, and I recommend seeking out Bird Ellen's version, which is on Something of the Green Woods, I think it is. It's on Bandcamp. Highly recommended.
Yeah. Piers, I think we've got some folks on here who might not have caught a song swap with you before or for a while.
Right.
Can you remind me, does the stream here stay up for a little while?
Stays up for a week.
Stays up for a week.
And then it goes private.
Right. Private to
anyone who is... There's a certain level of support on my Ko-fi page that gives people access to the song swaps that have been made private.
Gotcha. Okay, then. Cool.
But and of course you're welcome. I will send you a copy of the video if you want as well, or I'll certainly chop out Fair Maids of February and a few of the others. If you're, what I'll do is I'll send them to you, because then you can put them up on your
channel,
YouTube channel, rather than me nicking your songs and putting them up on my channel. That seems a bit cheaty. So yes, I will send you a Dropbox link of something with a.
Thank you. Lovely
with
job.
all the raw video and the audio and the live stream itself as well.
Yeah.
Survivalist incel dystopias. I've managed to avoid all of those, Paula. Bloody hell. That sounds terrible.
See, this is why I'm writing really silly stuff about haunted tea sets and folkloric animist stuff about nature. Those are kind of where I'm at, really, those two places.
Yeah.
Have we got time for one more from me, do you think?
We can go as long as we like. It is 10 o'clock and I've been finishing about 10 to 10 recently, but as long as you're ready to, as long as you're happy to keep going, or just come back in a few weeks.
Right, okay. There's one that I think might be a nice one to finish with. This is another new one. This is very much kind of animist nature, taking comfort and solace in what's around and how beautiful. There is always beauty. There is always beauty. And if you come at it with a sense of folklore and you know, okay, magic. You don't have to call it magic, but there's always something. You know the bit where the trees are all leafless and you get a white sky and the trees are black against it. This tracery, this pattern, this intricate, and it's beautiful. Doesn't that just make you stop in your tracks with the beauty of it? I mean, that brings me to tears. Okay, that sort of thing. Several of the windows out of which I habitually look have backlit trees doing that, and it never fails to move me. No. It's the rolling.
And that thing when you look directly up to a big tree canopy, and you kind of see them, the fingers just sort of, but not intertwining. Just lovely. Yeah. I was doing this way off the camera. I couldn't show anyone what I was doing until
your hands weren't up there.
What's he looking at? He's doing a sun salutation or something. What's going on?
So then, if you toss a bit of folklore in, then this is what you come up with. So this is another new song that I'll close with for tonight. It's called Winterlong, and Piers, it has, as always, been an absolute joy, and I've loved having folks here to talk to and chat to and sing to, and what could be more fun? The trees know an alphabet older than language, a winter-long love letter inked on the sky, written fresh every year in the book of bare branches. Winter is patient and wiser than I, and the wind wears a scarf made of laughter and wonder that somebody lost when the year was yet young. Simple and scarlet and solace and stolen and carried away into silence and song. Look, says the queen of the wild, wild roses, all of this beauty is given to you. Jackdaws have harvested all my bright berries but 9, and they'll shine as the snowdrops come through. And under the copper beech, hedgelong and hardy, holding their shield wall, bonny and brown, are little fair maidens in little white hoods, hallowing hope in their little green gowns. Dance, says the wind, do you want me to teach you? Copper beech says, be thou steadfast and bright. Look, says the queen of the wild, wild roses, hope, say the little maids hooded in white, for the trees know an alphabet older than language, a winter-long love letter inked on the sky, written fresh every year in the book of bare branches. Winter is patient and wiser than I.
Wow.
Thank you.
God, bloody hell, Tam. Bloody hell, Talis. Just,
You're very, very kind.
Hey. Right, I was going to sing something completely different to close the night, but this is you just put me in mind of this. Thank you so much, everyone who's chucked money in the hat. I've not been keeping up, but actually, I can hopefully bring up a browser here and see. Show me my keyboard, damn you. So thank you so much to the anonymous Ko-fi supporter, to the Tools, Thomas Brown, Paul Bristow, thank you very much. Another anonymous supporter, Lexi and Rick, thank you very much. More anonymous supporters, Gorgeous Gary in the chat, Edwin B, Daniel Kelly, Marion, anonymous supporter, Michael Grinder, thank you all so much. Very kind.
And the comments, oh my word, the comments.
Yes, delightful, lovely to have the chat. It's always good. So let me get back to that. Yeah, this you put me in mind of this, and it's one of my absolute favourites. That sense of the woods and the rural idyll and all that kind of stuff. It's not a folk song. It's been taken up as a folk song, but it's a written song. I just can't remember who by. Anyway, here goes. Within the woodland flowery gladed, by the oak tree's mossy moot, where shining grass blades timber shaded, now do quiver underfoot, and oh, bollocks. Right, I'm going to start again because I've remembered what the thing is and I don't want to do the Within the woodland flowery gladed, by the oak tree's mossy moot, where shining grass blades timber shaded, now do quiver underfoot, and birds are whistling overhead, and water's bubbling in its bed, with fruit for me the apple tree do lean down low in linden lee. When it's gone. Bloody well gone.
No.
Oh! Bloody well gone. Soon tomorrow's sun will rise, and dawn will paint the sky. There's time for just one parting song before we say goodbye. So sing together one and all, and raise a glass of wine. Here's hoping we shall meet again along the road of time. We've shared our stories, yours and mine. We've shared our hopes and fears. In memories of days gone by, we both roll back the years. So sing together one and all, and raise a glass of wine. Here's hoping we shall meet again along the road of time. The ever-turning fateful wheel must cause our ways to part, and bring in untold mysteries another day will start. So sing together one and all, and raise a glass of wine. Here's hoping we shall meet again along the road of time. For from endings come beginnings, from the old springs the new. With hope for tomorrow, we'll see our parting through, and we'll sing together one and all, and raise a glass of wine. Here's hoping we shall meet again along the road of time. Yes, sing together one and all, and raise a glass of wine. Here's hoping we shall meet again along the road of time. Here's hoping we shall meet again along the road of time. Passing song by Dave Webber. Sorry about blanking on Lyndon Lee.
The fragment was very nice, though. That was lovely. Thank you, Piers.
Thank you for coming. Thank you for having me. No, it's the other way around.
If it's not inappropriate, I have a website, www.talis.net, which has
let me just drop that in chat.
Some things. I'm sorry?
I'm just dropping your website in chat.
Yeah, thank you. And I have a YouTube channel with a whole lot of things, including somebody was asking about the Tamlyn sequel there. I call that Jenny Rode Out.
What's your YouTube username?
Talis Kimberley. If you search Talis Kimberley.
If you search Talis Kimberley, you'll find it. Right.
Yeah, not the topic, the channel.
The channel, yes. Oh, you have a topic as well, I say.
And that's lots and lots of good footage and a lot of my more recent songs and so on. So yeah,
get over to Talis's channel. If you
want to know what I'm sorry,
get over to Talis's channel, subscribe, like everything on it, put the thumbs up, do the notifications, stuff like that. Help get that subscriber numbers up.
And then if there's something you want the words to because you'd like to cover it or something you've heard and you don't know where to find it, drop me an email, drop me a message. Find me on the socials.
And at the same time, if you've not already subscribed to this channel, selfishly, please do. You've stuck it this long, and thumb up this video so that people will go, oh yes, this is good, we should, and people will discover how great Talis is. And all that stuff. I'm crap at this bloody marketing, social media stuff. God, yeah. You kind of got to. I'm 601 subscribers now, so it's just, it sneaks up on you. I'm still thousands of hours of viewing away from YouTube going, well, you can have some of our advertising revenue, but
everybody's making things and there's only so much watching things and listening to things to go around.
I'm subscribed to lots of people whose channels I never really watch because, it's people who you want to support and helping them get the right numbers so that is just a thing that's worth doing.
And we've got some awesome, talented people here that have been watching tonight. Thank you all so much. Yep. So, introduce yourselves to each other. Go find Barbara Carlick, Daniel Kelly, Amy McNally.
Oh, Daniel God. Daniel Kelly's channel, there's some great stuff on that. Highly recommended. Amy, have you got stuff on here?
And everybody.
Everyone, anyway. Yeah, great stuff.
All sorts of wonderful people. So thank you for joining us tonight.
Thank you all so much. I wave with the hand that you can see. That's probably a good idea. Thank you all so much for joining us. And
do it again.
And Amy hasn't got much, but still subscribe. And anyone who's got, feel free to plug your YouTube username in chat here. And thank you all so much. I'm going to close the stream now. Tot up the. I'm going to leave the Ko-fi thing open until the end of the weekend, and then tot up how much people have dropped in the hat. So if you're feeling like you want to drop in the hat, half of it will still go to Talis. So thank you all so much for thing. This is the unofficial goodnight song because I know there are some people in chat who are desperate to type a particular emoji. Watch chat and you'll find out. I'm going to do this and I'm going to fade to black. I'm going to say nothing more after this. So, you know. Oh, be the lady who will be the Lord when we are ruled by the love of one another. Oh, be the lady who will be the Lord in the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to them all. And long live the day that is dawning. For I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. Eve is the lady, Adam is the Lord. When we are ruled by the love of one another. Eve is the lady, Adam is the Lord. In the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to them all. And long live the day that is dawning. For I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. Labour and spin for fellowship, I say. Labour and spin for the love of one another. Labour and spin for fellowship, I say. In the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to them all. And long live the day that is dawning. For I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. All shall be ruled by fellowship, I say. All shall be ruled by the love of one another. All shall be ruled by fellowship, I say. In the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to them all. Long live the day that is dawning. For I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. Sing John Ball and tell it to them all. And long live the day that is dawning. For I'll crow like a cock, I'll carol like a lark in the light that is coming in the morning. In the light that is coming in the morning. Thanks, everyone. Solo stream next week, probably. Edwin Brady? The week after. See you all then. Bye-bye.